Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Watcher of the Forest, how are you doing today? Um, Thank you so much to everyone who subscribes, likes, and comments. I love you all. Thank you for your support. And to my ancestors, angels, and benevolent spiritual team, known and unknown, thank you for your guidance and protection through every realm. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I think that I'm going to just pull cards for this reading so far. I pulled out the Sun and the Four of Cups. So let's see what comes up. 29 and 20, 29, 29 on the timer. Wow, that's a number you don't see very often. What other cards want to come out, Spirit Team? Page of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Seven of Cups, Ace of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, the Star, Six of Wands, and Temperance. Okay, let's see who I'm reading for. Well, the cards aren't really giving me anything. Um, okay, so I'm reading for the collective. Okay, so it can be male or female, it doesn't matter. Okay, whoever you are, we're starting off your reading with the Sun, which is a 1 in numerology. 19, 9 plus 1 is 10. So intuition. The Sun is the most positive card in the deck. You must be a very, very positive person. You know, you lead your life with jubilation and vitality. You are very confident in your life, right? Very, uh, you lead your life with compassion and you have confidence within yourself and you're very content. That's why the Sun came out, right? The Sun card doesn't come out very often at all in any reading, but you have a lot of contentment within yourself. You must be very balanced individual is what I want to say, right? You're very balanced. You are just successful. You have prosperity in your life, whatever that is for you. You know, prosperity, I say the word prosperity, people think money. Well, yeah, it can be money, it can be health, you know, it can be material success, it can be a wealth of friendships. Prosperity is just everything, right? The Four of Cups. It looks like maybe you're going through something. Maybe you are feeling like you are just, you're just disappointed in whatever you just currently went through, whether it was through another person or just through an experience, right? You need to just pivot, you know, just, you can literally turn yourself around, right? Or just picture it in your mind that you're just going to pivot, okay? And you're going to need to just go into seclusion for a little bit and think about why you're disappointed. Why do you feel discontent? You know, because you're, you know, like you have this within yourself, right? The Sun within yourself, contentment. And if someone or something is making you feel discontent, then you need to fix that, like lickety split, right? Fix that within yourself. Go into your meditation if you want, go out in nature, ask God, why am I feeling this way? And maybe it's an emotion that you're picking up from someone else. I'm thinking that it is. You know, a lot of times when you have the Sun within you, right? You shine, you have a lot of God's light within yourself, right? So you're shining and you're projecting that positive, beautiful energy outward into the world, into your experience, which is your life, right? And some people are jealous, right? Some people are envious. and they don't realize that, hey, you got the same light within you too, right? So you're living with the sun within yourself, and you're feeling content and compassion and confidence, and you have health, right? But then you're starting to feel, oh, I feel down, I feel disappointed, right? And you got to think to yourself, what's making me feel this way, right? Because my energy is sunshine. And I'm thinking, if you're a Pisces, water sign, you can be any sign, but, you know, sunshine, right? You live in sunshine all the time. You're always happy. You're always content. You always have confidence. You live your life in compassion, right? If someone or something projected their energy onto you, the only way that you can feel discontent is if you accept it, right? If you like grab that energy and thought, well, I'm going to digest it into my body, I'm going to gobble it up, right? And then guess what? Now you're in discontent. So if you can feel, get out of that, just purge it out. Say, no, I'm not going to accept that. I'm sorry if you're having a bad day, to say, like, maybe your coworker, go fix that, go heal that for yourself. You know, I I'm staying in my high vibration of, you know, confidence, right? And love and joy and contentment in my life. Page of Pentacles. Yes, you're going towards a new skill. Good news about money, career, education, and home. Diligent and inspired. So you're going through a situation where maybe someone was trying to bring you down. A lot of people don't like to see a happy person. That's not your problem, right? You just keep going on and shining as much as you want to. This person's trying to bring you down. You kind of like, I want to say, you kind of like took a leap and went over, you know, well, I'm the Page of Pentacles. I am learning something new. And maybe what you learned is, yes, some people project their negative, their point of view on you, and it's up to you if you want to accept it or decline it and just say, I'm not accepting that. I don't want that behavior around me. Whatever, we'll talk tomorrow. Maybe you'll be in a better day. Maybe you'll, you know, be in a better mood or whatnot, right? So you're going towards someone else who is as creative as you are. You're going towards someone who's enthusiastic and dynamic and individual, just like you are, right? Someone who's inspired and career driven and highly motivated. You're going into, you're meeting another person who's as compassionate as you are, right? This person thrives on challenges. Hey, that's cool, right? And you have choices in your life, as we all have choices. You're going to be inspired, and you're going to use your imagination and your creativity, right? In whatever that you're doing. 7 is luck. Well, you have great luck when you lead your life with this kind of confidence, I want to say. And I don't want to say ego driven confidence. No, I'm saying just confidence, right? You're just enthusiastic about life. You're like a shining bright sun in this world, right? The universe says yes. Yes, yes, yes. You're going through a new challenge, whatever that is in your life. You're going to use your intellect and your power. You're a leader. You have prosperity and success. And look what it got you, by staying in your own lane, right? Not absorbing other people's issues, because you don't want to do that. It's bringing you success and prosperity into your life by staying in your own lane, right? As the sun. Good news and inner peace. Nine of Pentacles. Nine is all about releasing. So I think you're releasing this, right? Someone else who wanted to put that on you. You're not going to accept their energy, I want to say, right? We're all energy. You're not going to accept their energy. You're going to release it so that you can have prosperity and wealth in your life, success. Success for you, right? Success for whoever you are that embodies the sun energy within yourself. And you're shining brightly, whether you realize it or not. You shine brightly in your attitude and how you speak to people. You shine brightly within yourself, how you carry yourself, how you talk to yourself, number one, right? How you speak to other people, number two. You carry this just jubilation. You're just so happy, right? A lot of people don't like that because their life isn't so happy. And like I want to keep repeating over and over, they can have that also. Yes, you can. Go through your healing. You can have that also. Release, release so that you can have good news come into your life. The star, 17, which is an 8, is abundance, hope, inspiration, mental health, creativity, contentment, visionary, spiritual guidance, generous, kind hearted, healing, and renewal. Yes, I feel like you're meeting another person who is just like you are, right? You're the sun, and this other person is the star. You're like you're both on the same page. You know, if you stayed, if you accepted this energy from another person, you would never have met the star, right? You just never would have. It wouldn't have worked out because when you accept other people's low vibration energy, like if they're having a bad day and they're projecting their crap onto you, you know, if you don't get yourself right out of it, right? Say, like, if you digested this, uh, their energy, right? You took it on, you're just never going to meet the star. You're not going to have hope and inspiration, good mental health, creativity, contentment, right? But contentment, okay? But since you did, you're meeting another person who's just like you, and you're just like, oh my gosh, excuse me, I'm so thrilled. You're both generous and kind hearted, and you both heal. You both have understood and understand that you need to heal to move on, to close out old cycles, open up a new cycle, right? And you both operate out of spiritual guidance. Next is the Six of Wands: victory, success, achievement, advancement in career, significant progress, good news, confidence, respect, validation. It's not the end. It's not the end. Of course, it's never the end, right? We're just continually evolving. It's never the end. You have victory and success. Yes, victory, success. I met someone who's just like me. It's like part of my spirit tribe, my soul tribe. um, this person is just like me, and this is what you're thinking, whoever you are who operates out of the sun energy, right? Just a beautiful person. You just radiate love and joy, and everything good comes to you. And why is that? Because God operates out of love and joy, right? So you're both on your spiritual path of love and joy, just doing good for others too, right? Just just a really awesome person, I want to say. You make progress every single day. Sometimes people think, oh, you've got it made. You're in the sun energy. Well, you still have to work for it, right? Every day. It doesn't just stay with you just because you're a kind-hearted person one day. You have to work for it always. So you're making significant progress. Good news. More confidence. Yes, thank you. And not in a bad, negative, egotistical way. No. You're getting validation from yourself, I want to say validation from God, right? Because we should never seek validation outside of ourselves, right? Because when you do that, then you're going back into the Four of Cups. Uh, oh, Susie wants to validate you, but Carrie isn't going to because Carrie's having a bad day. So she's going to, or he's going to project their bad attitude onto you. You know what I mean? So don't seek validation from other people. Seek validation first, for yourself and from God and your spiritual team, from divine source energy, right? From Lord Jesus Christ. Seek validation from your spirit, from your spiritual team, okay? Yes, you're going to have an advancement in your career, whatever your career is, whatever it is for you. I bet you it's something that you absolutely love to do. You just love it, right? Like you ooze enthusiasm and you ooze joy whenever you speak about what you're doing. You just absolutely love it. People would say that you're one of the lucky ones. You have this bright light within you and it radiates out. Maybe you go to the store and people stare at you. People aren't used to seeing someone like yourself who has the sunshine within them, right? So people stare at you and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm just buying groceries. Why are people staring at me? That's why, you can't see it. Um, I want to say outside of yourself, but you can feel it within yourself, right? That's what God gave you. You can feel it within yourself, right? And I also want to say that people who carry a lot of sunshine within themselves have gone through a lot of darkness and they've healed from just things that you can't even imagine. Okay. So when people are jealous of your light, they don't know the struggles and the hardships that you had to live through. I mean, live through as a human being. All right. I'm not talking spiritual. I'm talking as a human being. You had to go through so many hardships, so much abuse and trauma in your life to have this much light within yourself, right? You went and you healed yourself. You went and secluded yourself and healed yourself, right? That's how you get so much light within yourself. You saw out the wisdom that was in each and every single experience that you went through, and you healed yourself. And then, like for a gift, I mean, honestly, for a gift, God is saying, I'm going to team you up with someone who's just like you, the star, who's also went through a lot of hardships in their life, right? They've gone through so many things that people, I want to say 9 times out of 10, people just wouldn't survive from, right? So if people want to stare at you, let them stare. Not everybody has, I mean, I think personally, I think a lot of people have God's light within themselves, right? Some people don't, but you'd have to be really evil not to, right? But we're all part of God, and it's your choice. You want to, you know, live a negative life and do people dirty, or if you want to live a positive life and help people out, right? This person or people, whoever I'm reading for today, you chose to help people out. You chose to heal from your trauma, whatever that was for you, the hardships that you lived through on this earth, in this lifetime, right? So be proud of who you became, okay? Because we become, right? When we heal ourselves, we become a new person. So be proud of yourself for that, okay? So, temperance, internal balance and healing, creativity and art, fusion to achieve harmony, attune, reconcile, temperance. I'm going to read this card. 14. Temperance. Okay. Some call temperance the healing card. It denotes greater external or universal forces entering into our individual lives to right what is wrong, restore what was lost, cool what was too hot, heat up what was too cold, and temper our lives for balanced, harmonious health. For balanced, harmonious health. This card is about internal balance, right? I believe that's what I was just talking about. Temperance. So, yeah, tempering the both, right? Tempering it. Tempering, see, like, do you see he's got two goblets, right? And he's pouring them back and forth. It's like the liquid was too hot, so I'm going to pour it back and forth into these two goblets. I'm going to temper the temperature so it's not too cold and not too hot, right? 9:09 on the timer. So yes, you want to temper whatever you feel inside of you, right? It's all about your inner, within yourself. That was a beautiful reading for whoever you are who embodies the sun within themselves, right? It's all about within us. What we project out into the world, 8:38 on the timer, and you project confidence and health, success, enthusiasm, right? Just joy and love out into the world. I bet you a lot of people do stare at you and wonder, wow, how did you get how am I seeing you? You know, you have this light that just emanates from you. That's why people stare at you. But, you know, people will never come up to you and ask you, hey, how did you get all this sun within you? You know, either they just are jealous or they will, like, I want to say, if you know this person, they will come at you, right? In a negative way because of their other jealousy and envious. But them not knowing, you had to go through so much in your life to carry this amount of God's light within you. Just hardship after hardship after hardship, trauma, 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 trauma. And you got through it and you healed yourself, right? And now you have enormous amounts of God's light within you. Divine source energy, right? So, spiritual team, what card would be best to grace this beautiful message for the collective, please? Thank you. Remain in the light. Can't make it up, people. Stay calm and wise, moving forward with confidence, knowing you will succeed no matter what happens. Remain in the light. By maintaining your faith and inner balance, you nurture your soul and become a strong representative of the light, right? You are a representative of the light, which is your spiritual team, which is God, divine source energy, the Holy Spirit, right? Lord Jesus Christ. You are a representative of them when you operate out of your light. Wow, that was a fantastic card. I mean, 6:06 on the timer. That was absolutely beautiful. Okay, I'm going to ask an Archangel card. Archangels, which card can you grace this reading with, please? And thank you. Which card? Archangel Haniel, embraced by love. Let love reach where it has never reached before. Let love reach where it has never reached before. That's a beautiful card also. Love, yes. God, our spiritual team, all operate, all live in love. Like every second of every single day. What is love? It is the sun, right? It really is. It is the sun. Okay, spiritual team, I would like an affirmation for this beautiful, beautiful reading, please, for the collective. What card is best for this reading, please? I am open to the endless possibilities this beautiful life the universe has to offer. Yes, please be open to the endless possibilities that this life, this universe has to offer, right? And let's pull another one. One more card, please, spiritual team. One more card. Everything in my life is working out in the best way possible and for my highest good. Yes, everything is working out for you, for your highest good. Always believe that, and maybe write this down in your journal as an affirmation and say this to yourself before you go to sleep. Say this to yourself when you wake up. You know, say these affirmations all the time, and you will watch. Seriously, you will watch your life just change for your highest good. That's what happened to me when I went through my healing. I wrote down my affirmations probably, like 50 times a night. I just wrote them down in my journal and then I said them to myself. And yeah, I got some beautiful, beautiful, I had some beautiful healings. I really did. But I did it for myself, you know, because I didn't want to stay stuck in a lower vibration, right? You want to have oodles of God's light within you, right? You went through so many hardships and so much trauma in your life, but you overcame it and you used your resilience, right? When you go through stuff like that, negative crap that people put on you, right? Or experiences you've had, like if you were, in the wrong place at the wrong time, well, that's something you have to heal from, right? So many things you have to heal from in this life, but you know, it really does. It helps us evolve, right? And helps our soul learn, right? So just I think of, like my life and how much I've learned in my life. And I love learning, 2, 3, 4 on the timer all the time, right? So whatever I learn, I absorb into my soul, and in my next lifetime, guess what? I won't have to learn this stuff again, right? Because once you learn it, there's another something else for you to learn, right? Just something else. So let's try one of these cards. Spiritual team. What else? Is there another card that can come out from this deck for this beautiful reading about having God's light within us? Remain in the light. Oh, a lot of them. Holy Toledo. I'm going to take this one. Believe. When you wholeheartedly embrace the attainability of your dreams, you will find the courage to exceed the ordinary. Yes, you will find the courage to exceed the ordinary when you believe, right? When you believe, yes, I believe, wholeheartedly embrace like your wholeness, right? Wholeheartedly, you want to embrace it. You want to have the courage to exceed the ordinary, right? You want to you healed yourself from the trauma and the just negative experiences you were in, right? This is the This is not ordinary, is what I want to say. You want to exceed the ordinary. You will find the courage to exceed the ordinary, right? This is the ordinary. I'm sorry to say, this is the ordinary, someone putting on their negative, attitude on you. But you want to have the courage when you wholeheartedly embrace the attainability. This is the attainability. You can have that. Anybody can have that. You can have that. I got it. Do you want it? How badly do you want it? How badly do you want, to live your life in love and joy, and go out and help others, and have your spiritual team with you, and God and the Holy Spirit. How badly do you want that, right? Go and heal yourself. Go and heal yourself from your traumas, from anything that brought you down, right? Go and do that so that you can do something, so you can exceed the ordinary. You don't want to be like everyone else. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to follow the crowd when each and every one of us is an individual? We all have different gifts that God gave us, right? Yes, different gifts. Go out and do something extraordinary for yourself. Go heal yourself, right? And remain in the light. I love this card. Remain in the light for you, not for anybody else, but for you, right? And go and live the life of your dreams, right? Because when you heal yourself, holy Toledo, I mean, you're a new person. A whole new world opens up for you. It really does. So, thank you for watching and listening. I love this reading. And until next time, I will see you again real soon. Take care.